Hey, what's going on? This is Crystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game. I am your health and fitness coach who specializes in helping women over 40 lose weight without dieting or working out for more than 30 minutes at a time. And you are here on Fitness Friday, where today we're going to continue the conversation about belly fat. We've been talking about belly fat the last few weeks, but today I want to give you some foods that are going to help you lose some of that belly fat, but you're still going to enjoy it. So, if you're here with me now, say hey, let me know that you're here watching. If you're catching this on replay, do me a favor and type replay in the chat. And on my screen, I'm jumping around. I hope I'm not jumping around too much for you, but either way, we're gonna get this thing going. I'm checking it out on my phone just to see how bad it is, but let's get to it. So, as I said, I'm gonna give y'all some simple swaps today, right? Because I know a lot of times, the majority of the time, the biggest struggle is with the food, and we know that food, as they say, six packs are made in the kitchen. So we have to talk about the foods that you can have that are going to help streamline that waistline. Oh, I just came up with that. Okay, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, we want to focus on all the fats. There are two types of fats: visceral fat and our subcutaneous fat. The subcutaneous fat is the fat that we see, right? The fat that's right up under the skin, the fat that most of us, really fight to get rid of. But visceral fat is the fat that you should be afraid of. That's the fat that is surrounding your organs that could kill you. Just put it out there like that, right? So with these foods, the foods that we're going to talk about today, they're going to help you with both. All right. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. So let me share my screen. Hopefully you can see that. If you're here with me now and you can see it, type a yes in the chat, because we're going to break it down into four different categories of food. We're going to talk about, well, food and drinks. We're going to talk about our drinks, our fats, our sweets, and our carbs. So with those four, let me know in the chat which one or ones you struggle with the most. Do you feel like you make not so great decisions when it comes to your drinks, your fats, your desserts, or your carbs? So let's talk about each of them. So what I'm going to do, and try to make this pretty quick today. I said try, is that I'm going to give you. I'm going to post one that people typically struggle with, and then give you some alternatives to what you could have instead, so that you are on the right path. So let's start with our drinks. I got to start with the coffee. If you are a coffee drinker, let me know in the chat, because a lot of coffee drinkers don't even realize how many calories they're drinking. I have to say this, and I'm going to say it. I really wish these places would stop even offering drink sizes this doggone big. Why sway? I got water in here. If you're not drinking water or something completely sugar free, and I'm not talking about your diet sodas, if you're not drinking something like that, you shouldn't have a drink this big. And so when I see people coming out of these popular coffee places, I ain't gonna say no name, with these big old iced coffee, and the iced coffee just as light as I am. Keep your jokes to yourself, right? It just lets me know how much doggone creamer and sugar is in there. That is so many doggone calories. So instead of having these sugary coffees, try something different. Get you a black coffee that has like and season it up, season it, flavor it. There we go. Add some flavor with some cinnamon or some nutmeg, or even get a flavored coffee so that you don't feel the need to replace that flavor that we're getting with sugar, right? Or if you are an iced coffee person, try to get unsweetened coconut milk or unsweetened almond milk, as opposed to letting them put in all those heavy creamers and all oh gosh, we ain't gonna talk about the pumps. When you get those pumps, you know what I'm talking about. Give me the 5 pumps of hazelnut, or 5 pumps of caramel or caramel, whatever you want to call it. You are adding nothing but syrup and extra sugar. So instead of using those, get the unsweetened coconut milk, get the unsweetened almond milk. All right. Let me know if that one could work for you. All right. Let's keep going with the drinks, because I mentioned the sodas and I mentioned your diet sodas, right? You say, well, they don't have any calories in them and they say that they're sugar free. Nah, still a whole bunch of junk in it. It really is. So instead, how about you get a sparkling water and then you uh, drop some splashes of flavor in there? Now, let me back up and I'm going to say this and I want to be clear. I'm not saying that sparkling water with splashes of flavor are the same as doggone soda. I'm not saying that, not as far as the taste. A lot of us will drink sodas because we want something fizzy to make us feel like we're alive, right? If that's you, you're like, oh, I just need something to perk me up, and not necessarily chasing caffeine, this is a great option. So sometimes what I'll do is, instead of drinking that whole juice or that whole soda, whatever, get a can of the sparkling water and then drop a little bit of juice in there, right? Drop a little bit of lemon juice in there. Drop a, keep it real, sometimes a little rose's lime, just because it's a little bit sweeter, right? Or you can add some fruits in there, some herbs. You can drop some pineapple, some watermelon, some peaches, some strawberries, some blueberries. And with those, especially like if you have blueberries and strawberries and stuff, you could muddle that fruit up in there to give it more flavor. So it's not just the awesomes of the flavor, but you're getting the real flavor, right? But then you can also have like some tea, some herbal tea, and sweeten that with like stevia, because that's from a plant. It's 0 calorie. Or you can use honey. Now, this is the thing with honey. Even though it's a natural sugar, so it's better than that refined and processed stuff, you still want to be careful with honey because it still has a lot of calories. So if you're watching your calories, you want to watch that. But also, honey is sticky, which means it can stick to your teeth, which means your dentist not going to like that, and neither will your teeth. So be mindful of that. All right. So let me know if those have helped you so far. Let me know if you're a coffee drinker, if you're a soda drinker, and you're like, thank you, Crystal, because I need some ideas. If that's you in the chat, say that's me in the chat as we get ready to move on to these facts. Now, before we get into the facts, I will say fats themselves are not bad. They're not. You just have to pick the right fats. Again, don't y'all go tell nobody that Coach Crystal said, oh, I could eat some fat. So let me go ahead and eat all the pizza, burgers, and all the other stuff. Nobody's saying that. We're going to talk about the fats that you should be leaning towards, right? So that you're on the healthier side. So drink up, because I want to ask a question. Let me know if you like a good salad. I love a good salad. I'm actually about to make me one once we get off of here. And I've been thinking about it all day. And I asked this question because I'm always amazed at the amount of people that say, Crystal, I love salads. I've always eaten salads. And I don't know why I can't lose weight. A lot of times it's because what you putting on your salad. You got all the things. And you're not even trying to hold back. You're not even trying to make healthy decisions. Now, some things, all those vegetables and stuff, pile them up. Look, lean proteins, pile them up. But what a lot of people are also piling up are the whole eggs. And eggs themselves are not bad, but the yolks can have a lot of fat and cholesterol, right? Then they throw on the cheeses. But the biggest culprit is that doggone salad dressing, especially those thick and creamy salad dressings. Y'all like your ranches and your Thousand Island. Those are thick and creamy and full of the unhealthy fats. So, personally, I like a good vinaigrette. So, you can make that. You can get a vinaigrette or you can make your own vinaigrette just by mixing some olive oil and vinegar, right? And, I add a little seasoning too. And if you saw my in the kitchen a week or two ago, I made one. It was delicious. It was for the, what was it, lemon herb Mediterranean chicken salad. So check it out. You can get that recipe there. Or if you still really want a creamy dressing, like I just like a good creamy dressing, make your own. Make it with, guess what? With Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt it's like healthy bay next to avocados. Avocados will always be bay at the top. But you could get a good Greek yogurt and a non-fat plain yogurt. You don't need that. Definitely, please don't get no vanilla and put it on your salad. Ooh. But get the non-fat plain Greek yogurt and throw your own herbs and spices in there. And I'll tell you, oh, I didn't drop the link. I guess I can. I'll put it in the chat. But I, in the first cookbook that I did, In the Kitchen with Crystal, in the very back of the book, I have a section that includes, oh, don't give me the line, 8 to 10, I think, different seasoning blends. And one of them is a ranch blend that is pretty doggone good. You put that in your Greek yogurt, and there you go. You can have your own ranch dressing. Let me see if I got that link for y'all. For anybody who it's like, oh, Crystal, I didn't know you had that. Let me check that out. Let me get you the link because you can find it on the Amazon. Get you the link to the Amazon page so that you can check out the books. All right. Here you go. I am putting that in the chat for y'all now. Didn't mean to. Ain't selling, just throwing out ideas for you. All right, cool. So, what's next? After the dressing, what's another issue that folks have? A lot of folks love some good old doggone fried food. Again, I do not believe in restriction. However, that fried food seems to have a hold on folks and feel like they have to have it that way. But y'all, the air fryer is your boo thing these days. Let me know if you have an air fryer. Let me know. Because if we combine it with the salads, I love a good crispy chicken on my salad. But guess what? We're going to throw that thing in the air fryer. So that way we still get the crisp, still get the flavor, but we're not getting all the fat and all the calories, right? What else you can do is you can bake or grill your chicken. When you're out, ask them, hey, do you have the option to blacken it? It can be cooked in different ways so that you're not getting all that fat. All right. And then even with your potatoes, your vegetables and all stuff, air fry those too. I throw almost everything in the air fryer. And just to give you another tip, something else I do when I put my frozen French fries and tater tots, because I still love a tater tot. I don't care if I am almost 50 years old. Ain't nothing like a tater tot. Let me know if you love a tater tot too. But I'll season them before I even put them in the air fryer. So that way the seasoning is cooking into more of the potato so that I don't have to add extra dipping sauces like ketchup when they're done. And so with the frozen potatoes, the things I like to use to season, pepper, because I love pepper. I put a little, you hear me? Somebody type little in the chat, a little seasoning salt. But what really gives the good flavor is the onion powder. I'm generous with my onion powder so that when the potatoes come out of the air fryer, they have a good old taste. Hey, Miss Naomi, look, we look. At least once a week, I'm gonna get me some tater tots. At least. I love tater tots. I love all potatoes. I love all of them. But it's something about a doggone tater tot. It's like the crunchy but gooey at the same time. Look, drink up. I'm glad I'm not the only one. And I'm apologize if I'm going a little fast. Just I got a lot of them I want to add for y'all, things that I know that people struggle with. All right. And then, of course, since we're talking about fats, we got to talk about butter. I got to tell you, it throws me off whenever I'm out to eat and they have bread and butter on the tables and watching the amount of butter that people put on their breads. It's just like, you don't need all that butter. You really, really don't. Because if you look at this butter, look at it. See how hard that is? That's why a lot of times they tell you soften your butter because it's naturally hard. That means that is a saturated fat. If it is that hard on the outside of your body, what do you think happens on the inside of your body? How do you expect that to get all good through your body when it's hard as that thing? Right? So instead, how about using instead of putting butter on your toast, do an avocado spread. Avocados spread when they're right, they spread so easy, and that's how it's going down in your body. That's the good fats that we want. Then you can also use a nut butter instead. And for my nut butter, and you can use whatever kind you like, right? However, um, if you're using a regular nut butter, I will say be mindful of how much you use and how much you eat. They're good for you, good fats, good protein, but it's still a lot of fat and a lot of calories too, right? Again, if you're watching your weight, you want to be mindful. However, what I absolutely love is a powdered peanut butter. Full transparency. I've tried a few different brands, right? I will say that I've had a brand where I love the flavor of the peanut butter. It tasted like real peanut butter. And all you do with powdered peanut butter is just add water to it to make it into peanut butter, right? But the texture wasn't that good. It was like grainy a little bit. But then there's another peanut butter, and I'll go ahead and say them. The first one, PB2. I love the flavor of the PB2, but it doesn't mix as well. PB Fit, on the other hand, it mixes very well. It looks real good and creamy, just like regular peanut butter. But for me, it's a little on the sweeter side. So if you have a sweet tooth, I guess you would probably like that one better all the way around. But it's also good. And I know we're talking about butter. Well, people put butter in their oatmeal too. But I put powdered peanut butter in my oatmeal every day to get that extra protein, reducing that fat, right? And get that extra flavor. And it's a little creamy. All right. We good on this so far? So far, we went through drinks and we went through the fats that people struggle with. And I'm giving you alternatives to help you shrink that belly fat. And you heard me say shrink the belly fat because you can't kill belly fat. Belly fat don't go nowhere. You just determine what size it is based on what you're doing. And we're talking about food right now, but that also includes activities like moving your body, drinking water, sleeping, all that other good stuff too. Keeping your stress levels down. All right. If anybody's joining me now, hey, I'm Crystal Taylor, and you are here on Fitness Friday, where we're talking about the foods that are going to help you shrink your belly fat. All right. We talked about our drinks. We talked about our fats. Now let's talk about our sweets. Let me know if you have a sweet tooth. And again, I apologize because I know I'm going fast. I got so many. And after I finish these, then I'm open up for, well, it's already open for Q&A. If you have any questions, drop your questions down in the chat and I will address those. But I just want to make sure that I get through all of these without holding you for too long. All right. So let's talk about ice cream. You scream, I scream. We all scream for ice cream. But luckily, I don't have a sweet tooth. So I get ice cream. I can't even count how frequently I get ice cream, right? What's interesting is I actually bought some like a week or two ago, but it was y'all probably mad at me, but I think it was like a sugar-free or something ice cream, just whatever. A little story. But for my people who like ice cream, and that's one of your guilty pleasures, and it's really, you really feel guilty because a lot of times people don't just have one scoop and they get the ice cream that has all the things in it, right? So instead, if you really like that texture of ice cream, what you can do is get you some Greek yogurt put some fruits in there, drizzle with a little honey. And if you want that texture of the ice cream, put it in the freezer for a little bit so it can get nice and, get that hardness, and then eat it that way. What they also have is frozen Greek yogurt bars. Baby, look, look. Like I said, I don't even really have a sweet tooth, but I can't remember which retreat it was because I host retreats for my clients and they're open to the public now. But at the time, it was still client only. And I bought some frozen Greek yogurt bars. Look, one of my clients was there and she loves ice cream. And she ate that bar and was like, oh my gosh, Coach Crystal, this is my new substitute. Good. Because you still get that creaminess, but you also get the extra protein that's going to help you feel fuller longer, right? And then you could also make your own version of nice cream. And I made some of that maybe a month or so ago on In the Kitchen with Crystal. I made apple pie egg rolls and nice cream. Look, if you not following me on YouTube, you tripping because I go live on YouTube every Saturday with good food suggestions, right? I cook with y'all for y'all. But I made some ice cream, and that is so simple to make. It's literally just frozen bananas that you throw in the blender and season up. I think I just put a little bit of cinnamon. You might want to put a little honey. Depends on how sweet your bananas are. A little nutmeg, a little vanilla. Throw in whatever flavors you like to make your own nice cream. I also like I love a good mocha ice cream. You could throw a Lilla, somebody type Lilla, a little bit of uh mini chocolate chips in there too. All right. So that's your suggestion for our ice cream. Okay. Up next. Who's next? Candy. Again, I'm talking to my sweet tooth people. Who has a sweet tooth? I know people who have sweet tooth so bad that they're like, Crystal, I can't even have it in my house. I keep it in my car. So that way, if I want some, I'll have to go outside to get it, eat it. Well, get some, eat it, and then come back in the house, right? And like I said, candy is not a bad thing. It's just that sugar is the most addictive drug out there for when we eat. So a lot of times people really struggle with just eating a little bit or eating the serving size. So if you like candy, especially if you like the gummy candy that you see on here, people have been really getting in the gummies and gummy candy. If you like that texture, try some dried fruit like apricots, dates, and things like that because they are naturally sweet when they dry, right? And if you are a chocolate lover, then go for the darker chocolate with the higher cocoa content, right? Because then they have lower sugar. We're going fast. All right, cereals up next. I should have broke this in half, but that's all right. We in it now. We in it. If you still like sugary cereal, ain't nothing wrong with it. Every once in a while, we like to revert back to our kiddie days, get us some Fruit Loops, some Frosted Flakes, and all that good stuff. But instead of doing that frequently, how about you try some oats instead, right? And then you can sweeten them up with bananas and blueberries, cinnamon, all of that good stuff. So I'll give you 2 tips. One, if you're making your oatmeal hot, I eat oatmeal 5 days a week, every Monday through Friday. That's my go-to breakfast. And so because of that, I just like prep all the dry ingredients early. So on the day of, all I have to do is add my water and my bananas. But I cook the bananas into the oatmeal because when you cook the bananas, it releases its natural sugars. That way you don't have to add any more sugars, right? But what you can also do, because most people, when they think about cereal, they think about cold cereal. If you like cold cereal, another thing you could do is make overnight oats. Baby. Now, let me tell you this. Don't you eat them after one night though. They not for real overnight oats. They like overnights oats. They're better like probably day three. Day two is cool, but like day three and beyond, the oats just become so creamy. And again, you can add your own flavors up in there. And so they basically just cook themselves in the refrigerator with the liquids. That's it. That's all. And so you don't have to add all those, again, refined sugars, but add the stuff that you like that's good and natural, right? But if you really just want a bowl of cereal with some milk, then at least go for the whole grain cereal and then use like a low fat milk or almond milk or something like that. All right. Now, this one might be a little bit of a surprise. People are like, smoothies. I thought smoothies are good. I love smoothies. People always talk about get smoothies. Sometimes these smoothies that we have are just straight up sugary smoothies, all the fruits. And fruits are in themselves are good for you because they're natural, but that's a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs. So if you like a good smoothie, add some green stuff to it. Add some kale, add some spinach. Add some use almond milk when you make yours, right? And then what you can also do is to make it healthier is to add a scoop of protein powder, right? Whether it's regular whey protein or your plant-based protein powder, add that so that you get again more protein so that you're feeling fuller longer. All right. And it's not all carbs. Whenever you're eating, you should not just have all of any one macro. You should not have all protein. You should not have all carbs. Definitely hope you're not eating all fats. You want to have a blend because when you're eating, consuming nothing but sugar, right? Um, you're not getting that protein to also help rebuild your muscles. All right. Whew. Last one. Yeah, no, I'm going fast. Let me know what's been the most helpful for you so far. Let me know which one you said, oh, okay, I can do that. I am going to do that. I'm at least going to try that. Right. Last up, carbs. And let's drink some water. I'm definitely thirsty because I'm going fast, but I try not to hold y'all too long. Since we're talking about carbs, we got to start with the bread. A lot of people struggle with eating that old plain, basic old white bread. You're not getting nothing out of it, right? You're getting refined sugar, refined flour, spike, crash. But instead, try out a whole grain bread or whole wheat bread. So that way you're getting more nutrients. You're getting that extra fiber. That's going to help you feel fuller longer and it's going to help your digestive system. All right. And if it's just about, well, I just like sandwiches and you want an alternative for it, you can do what they consider to be an unwich sometimes. So instead of using bread, period, just use a lettuce wrap. Like use most people say use romaine because they're long, whatever. But you can do this for sandwiches. You can do this for tacos, all that good stuff. All right. Then potatoes, pasta. I looked at the next slide. Let me know if you like pasta. Most people do. But this is the thing, you eat pasta, and what happens? Most times after you eat pasta, you feel bloated, you feel uncomfortable because it's just spreading. Because we can't really gauge. For some reason, we struggle with gauging how much pasta we should eat and definitely how much we should cook. We're always like, how did I end up making so much spaghetti? I didn't think it was that much. Exactly. And that's exactly what you're putting in your body. So instead of eating the regular white pasta, try zucchini pasta. Make you some zucchini noodles. I think I just did something with some zucchini noodles a couple weeks ago. Can't remember. But try those out. You can get a spiralizer. You can get have a handheld one. It's called a veggetti, where you use zucchini and you choose how thick or thin you want your noodles to be. Right, your zoodles. Okay, or try a pasta that's either whole grain or chickpea. Somebody said that there's also heart of palm pasta. Pasta, I think somebody just told me about that. I'm going to go look for that. But I'll tell you this, and I like to always be honest and real with you all. I personally like the chickpea pasta. I feel like it still has the look and the texture of regular pasta. Whole wheat pasta to me sometimes feel like it's like falling apart and grainy, especially the spaghetti. Like you can't even really break it; it just like crumbles. So it's up to you, but I personally prefer the chickpea. And if you look in your grocery store, there are some brands that actually have pasta with added protein, right? So that protein helps as well. All right. Then we talked about, you heard me mention potatoes. I said earlier, I love me some potatoes. I'll never tell anybody don't eat no potatoes. But what you can do if you're watching your carbs, watching your calories, instead of doing mashed potatoes, try a mashed steamed cauliflower. I will tell you, the very first time I tried it, I was very skeptical. I was like, I don't know, because look, as much as I love tater tots, I love me some mashed potatoes too. They just make me happy. Oh, they make me happy. Oh, they do. So I was skeptical. But I was surprised that the mashed cauliflower just as good. Is it as creamy as the potatoes? No, but it's a great substitute. It really, really is. And you can make them just like you do your potatoes. And because you're reducing the carbs and the calories, it's like a balance if you like to use your butter and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, in my mashed potatoes and in my mashed cauliflower, instead of regular milk, I use almond milk, unsweetened, original, of course. And then I also use Greek yogurt instead of like sour cream and stuff. And that helps with the creaminess and it adds extra protein. All right. And what else you can do is use like some mashed sweet potatoes. We love sweet potatoes. Mm, mm, mm. And they are our complex carb, which means that instead of giving you the carbs that are going to have you spike and then crash, it's going to give you that consistent energy so that you feel better throughout the day. And it's going to help with your digestive system. All right. So I know I covered a lot in a short amount of time. I know that it may have felt like, Crystal, you were rushing, but I want to give y'all the information because I know how many people struggle with food, struggle with these foods that are going to help them lose the belly fat. And it looks like I'm still skipping. Oh, child. Helps them lose the belly fat so that they look and feel better, right? So, and that's what we all want. So, I hope you found this helpful. Uh, if you want more information, let me know. Drop in the chat, in the comments, what foods you're going to swap out, which ones you're going to try, what changes you're going to make so that you can lose some of that belly fat, the subcutaneous and the visceral ones, so you look better and you feel better and hopefully live longer too. So I am Crystal Taylor. This has been Fitness Friday, where we are saying goodbye to belly fat so that we can, yeah, like I said, look better, feel better. So, all right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. If you have to go outside, please be safe because I want you happy. I want you here. I want you happy. I want you healthy. I want you here. Oh my goodness, boy, that salad can't come any faster because your girl is hungry. So, with that being said, bye, y'all.